Hey, this is Lewis from Mobile Level Web Dev, and I wanted to go over how to research for copywriting. I feel like it's rarely ever talked about, even though it's such a crucial thing, especially for websites or web development. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, I'm going to go over the 3 core principles, in my opinion, that you need to get started with it. And then I'm actually going to go in, I'm going to show you, I'm going to write some copy, going to show you how to do, so I'm going to look at some research, write some copy, and kind of show you how to do it in the computer. It's going to be quick. I'll try to be as efficient as possible. So the first one is basically you have to release your mind. You have to, you just have to release the limits of your mind and imagine yourself as a journalist and private detective. What would they do to get their information, right? What would they do to get, they would do whatever it takes, and they would be creative and think of different ways. So that's your first mindset that you kind of have to break through, is forget about the limits. It's forget about just your computer, just, free yourself from that. Let's keep that mindset. Then the second core principle is understand your market, try to understand the market, the verticals within that market, where your target audience sits in that market / industry. So we'll use a doctor, for example. I know a lot about doctors. I have many clients that are doctors, and I've been in the wellness industry for a long time. So I'm just going to use that as an example. So for example, what I know from like a medical practitioner is that, let's say they're in the medical industry, and then let's say that they are a primary care doctor that is trying to move into wellness, right? So crazy enough, there's a difference between like a wellness doctor who was once a primary care person who was into primary care, because it would be either insurance or cash-based, right? Because wellness is more cash-based. Insurance doesn't cover wellness, right? But if they're a primary care, then they're more concerned with getting their patients in at volume, whereas wellness is less concerned with volume and more concerned with cash, because each program can run between $2,000 to $6,000 for cash programs, right? So you see how like it's all so like some people will be like, well, I want to just get doctors. Well, what kind of doctors? Where are they in their stage of their journey? What because this doctor, the wellness doctor, may want something totally different from the primary care. What if the primary care person is like, I utilize the insurance and I want to ramp that up as much as possible to build a nest egg, that kind of thing. Whereas a wellness doctor, he already has the nest egg and he's just trying to ramp up his wellness practice because he has a broader vision, right? So you really have to think of all these things. And then even if you funnel down into the wellness doctor even further, you can be like, well, is that doctor, how long have they been in practice? Where are they at in their stage? Are they a budding practice? Are they struggling practice? What kind of niche are they doing? Are they doing like diabetes? Are they doing hypothyroidism? Are they doing different types of autoimmune diseases? Or are they mostly focusing on, what are their focuses on, and what are they looking to go? Maybe they're doing hypothyroid, but they want to get out of hypothyroid and they want to get into type 2 diabetes. So it's like, you see how there's so many different ways, and this is just doctors. This is just in the wellness niche, not just primary concierge niche. And if you don't know what any of that means, then you don't know anything about doctors in terms of marketing and the way their business works. But that's okay, but you need to know it like how I know it. You need to be able to talk like this about your people, about who you want to write for, because this is in every industry. This kind of level of detail is in every industry, I'm sure with plumbers, with electricians. There's all kinds that kind of run the gamut, and you need to understand that and work towards that. So and the third core principle that you need to remember is the actual application of what to do, of what you can do. Google reviews, basically all types of review mining, different types of research, Facebook groups, Reddit groups, looking up Reddit threads, talking with people, emailing people on Facebook, emailing your target audience. It depends if it's a product or service, of course, but most of these things will apply for many of these things. Google reviews, Yelp reviews, the actual customer interviews. If I have a doctor and they already have customers, I would definitely love to speak with their own clients, and because that's where you find a lot of the gold. Okay, so and there's so much more. There's so much more, but again, number one, mindset, release your mind. There are no limits. There are no barriers other than, what's not, keep it legal. Don't do anything illegal. But you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and jump in the computer, and I'll kind of play doctor a little bit, and we'll figure out some copywriting for a pseudo doctor, if you will, right? So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so here's a doctor in Austin that is a prominent doctor. She's pretty cool, and I'm just gonna take you through the process as if she was my client. This is one small section, but this is kind of what I would do. Maybe definitely for Google reviews or Amazon reviews. So, for example, this is what you do. You literally look at what they've done. So, Dr. Amy Myers, and 147 nearly 5-star reviews. That's incredible. And yeah, you just look through and literally just try to get a tone of how they're going to be if it's overly positive, it's going to be overly positive, which is very good. But you also kind of see, okay, gut, autoimmune, collagen, symptoms, +6, thyroid, probiotics. Okay. So she's probably mostly GI. She probably sells bone broth. Gut. Let me see. Okay, Amy Myers told me so much with Graves' disease, and I completely trust her advice in all things related to health. If you do what she says, you will get better. I absolutely love her supplements also. I have complete confidence that they are of the highest quality and potency available. Oh, and have you tried her mint joy bars? They've got to be the yummiest, healthy indulgence I've ever encountered. I simply cannot live with them. So this is gold. This is copy gold. Okay, so for example, what you could do, and I'll just do this right now. So like imagine this on a website, right? So let's see if we can go to her website. Let's see, Dr. Myers. Go to her website. And, oh, is this it? Oh, that is it, but that is not. There we go. Ha! There's bone broth. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, does this thing work? Okay, now let's take a look at if you do what she says, you will get better. Put those in quotations, right? And then you can just put, right? You can put like underneath, if you do what she says, you will get better. And then you can put in, Maggie, but buy Maggie or something. That's just a real quick way. If you're in a rush, sometimes just use their own words, put it in quotation, and people will know it's a testimonial and attribute it. And you can even use it as a main headline or something if it's, because that looks powerful on its own. I would probably put underneath this main headline or something, or just in a different place, maybe even on top of this, or make it a main testimonial or something like that. But see, like even that is pretty powerful when it's from somebody else, and that's a powerful statement to say. Let's see, Amy Myers is very knowledgeable. I think the fact that she has dealt with her own thyroid issues makes her a better doctor. Okay, so this is, if you didn't know about her, then you know, okay, she's dealt with her own thyroid issues, which is great to know. Her books are excellent, her supplements, top line, high quality, very effective. My energy levels are higher, my thyroid levels are more stable, my digestion is better. This is all great stuff. Okay, so now let's look at like the Amazon stuff. So the autoimmune solution. Okay, and this is good too. One-star reviews are really good, to understand all the different things, that complaints that people could have, and how you could address these things in the copy later on. So I was such a big believer in Amy Myers, but participation can include purchase of expensive candida, leaky gut, and because people are going to see this. It's not like, obviously you can't hide it now. So people are going to see this, and you're going to have to address it, or she will, at least in some way. So her brand is truly in it for the money. At no time could I get questions answered. At no time there was any flexibility for someone who would need to slow down because their body was reacting too strongly. The leaky gut had a few questionable conditions, very negative. So what I would do first is, the leaky gut has a few questionable ingredients. I would try to figure out what exactly could be questionable and give me very negative side effects, and then work on the possible negative side effects that it could have, and try to educate the people more on that. That way you can get ahead of other comments like this, right? And believe me, this happens to everyone. She's an amazing practitioner. I'm not trying to say that, this 1 stars happen to literally everyone. Nobody is perfect. And a lot of this is kind of subjective too. Besides obviously if she had direct negative side effects to it, then you can't help that. But it's too late, and that I can only return if it was. Then that means that we need to have a better refund policy on the actual supplement pages. They need to be more clear. Also, paid access to a dietitian was blocked because I had a question 1 week following the completion of the program by everyone else. Okay, there's ways to address that too. And then now I say, okay, and that was only because I had to slow my pace, which they fully encouraged during the program. It all just seemed very unethical, unsupportive, not aligned with all the image. I mean, personally, I think she's kind of overreacting, but see, and then she's sending them somewhere else. It's just weird. There's definitely some things to learn. There's always things to learn from negative. I look for the positive and the negative. Don't just look in positive. Figure out the negative. And look at all the rest. 5 star, 5 star. 28 days and it's already changed my life. It's like Graves' disease, stroke for many months. So it's like, and far too simplistic, brilliant solution. So there's some polarizing aspects to it, like many different things. So these are just 2 things, right? So next thing I would do, I would like go to Reddit. I would try to find any good stuff on her, any dirt. I want to know it all, because it's not like it's not all about sunshine and daisies with people. People, they don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear good stuff, of course, but they also want to hear how you can solve the problems, even with, or if solve the challenges that people even experience normally, or may even experience with your product. You gotta figure out ways around that. That's just how it is. And then work with your customer. So I would go back to Amy, and I would come back to her with solutions to this. To be like, yeah, I saw this. This is where maybe we should put the refund policy here. Maybe we should, instead of here, we need to make it bigger. And who is Dr. Kelly Brogan? And we should, take from her. I would literally try to figure out why this didn't work and why it works for her or whatever, or if she's just like a shill for Dr. Kelly Brogan. Is kind of what it looks like, but don't know. Just making observations. So yeah. So this is kind of my thought process, like with this is just 2 products, and there's a little way deeper I would go into. I would try to actually talk with her clients one-on-one and break it down and really try to figure out how they tick, what they think of it, figure out all the different niches that she's actually trying to tackle, and kind of repeat the process in many ways. So I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know if it was. Please subscribe. It really helps, encourage me to actually keep doing this. I've been hearing a lot of fantastic positive feedback. I've been getting a lot of questions from people, and even though I only have like 120 subs, and that makes me feel really, really good. So I just want to help people with web design, with copywriting, and I just feel like there's so much need out there for it, and such a lack of it, especially on YouTube. So comment below with your favorite method, or if any of these methods were new to you, or this thought process was new to you. So I hope it helps, and we'll talk to you soon.